Hello and welcome to Movies, Films, and Flicks. I am Mark Hoffmeyer, and joining me are two men who got custom tracksuits made for this episode. It's Erik Hoffmeyer and Marcos Ruiz. How y'all doing, Marcos?
Yo, check out our YouTube page, Black Widow Super Cheese Fights.com.
I love the GoPros that y'all have on your head right now, and the tracksuits, and you guys look ready to go.
I was gonna wear my Peaky Blinders hat because I actually have one of those. But it's too hot here where I am to wear one of those right now. I put it on for a bit. I was sweating bullets.
Yeah, that'd be bad. And you know what? We're jumping into it right now, but I do love when the babies fight those kind of gangster geezer guys in the kind of skunkamola.
Toddlers.
Yeah, like when the toddlers fight, like the guys who are working in Mickey's kind of weed den. And so, like, traditionally you think these big, like, kind of blokes, like big geezer, tough guys are going to win. And then the toddlers just bust out some MMA and destroy them. And I think that's such a fun kind of flip and version of the kind of gangster trope where, like, the tough-talking guys, burly dudes, and they just get wiped out. Like, it was such kind of a refreshing scene because I did not see that coming. Like, they bring in, hey, Mickey, hey, Steve, hey, Joe, come on in here. And then they get the floor wiped with them.
I like how Guy Ritchie does that. He brings in multiple different gangster styles into his movies.
Yeah,
like
that was
Russians, the new generation, the old school establishment, and he throws them all together.
And
the Asians,
like Dry Eye. Oh my gosh,
Dry Eye, yeah.
And well, the one thing, as a huge fan of Guy Ritchie movies, what I love most about The Gentleman is this felt like the most adult, and it also felt like we were stepping into a world that was already established with very capable people. So, you have Charlie Hunnam, you have Mickey, you have just the entire, like Fletcher, you just have just these, like Ray, these really capable people who are already at the top of the heap. So we're not watching a Scarface, we're not watching the Snatch idiots or the Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels idiots. Like, we're watching, like, lions in there.
These are the grown-ups.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Exactly.
It's grown up lock stock. It's grown up lock stock basically. Yeah. They've evolved.
Yeah. Don't watch JV. Watch the professionals, man. This is way more interesting.
Yeah.
And it's just capable people. And I don't know, when you guys watch this again, how refreshing is Ray, played by Charlie Hunnam? I mean, this is right. Like, is he not one of the most capable second in commands you've ever seen on screen?
Yeah, definitely. The way they were always one step ahead.
Yeah.
He was always one step ahead, and you didn't know this. You learned this later on. The way he was one step ahead of Hugh Grant's character Fletcher, and how he knew to have that specific bottle of whiskey, of scotch, the Wagyu steak. I mean, that was just it was brilliant. It was brilliantly played, and he was cool. The glasses. I mean, it was just.
And they gave him character flaws too. His OCD mania. He didn't want to go into that apartment with all the druggies. So he has some serious paranoia going on at the same time.
And he needs to invest in parachutes as well.
Oh yeah, that was a great line.
Yeah. and that speaks. I love also too Mickey in this movie, Michael Pearson, played by Matthew McConaughey, where this isn't the type of boss where Ray messes up and he just gets rid of him. Ray messes up a couple times in this movie, and Mickey's just like, listen, we're at the top. I get it. Things happen. You're a beast. You have great cardigans. Like, it's cool.
Yeah.
Like,
well, it takes like 6 months to train a new right-hand man. It's just not worth it.
Yeah, consigliere. And I just love their relationship between the two of them. It's just such... Well, like, once again, this is it's so refreshing in that, like, remember in Scarface, his second in command with the sister, and they fall apart, and then Goodfellas.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, I feel like most gangster pictures got, like, the snitch, the kind of wild card, the crazy one. Like in Rounders, it's Edward Norton. Like, there's none of those characters in this movie. Like you said, this is the grown-ups playing.
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes it so rewatchable too. And this movie only had a budget of $22 million. And one thing I found out that was crazy is that, like, Charlie Hunnam and Hugh Grant only had about 5 days to get out 45 pages of dialogue during their scene at Ray's house. And
it only took them 5 days to film all that dialogue.
And you know what's interesting? I never liked the lighting inside of Ray's home because it felt very TV. It felt very blown out. But when you're shooting that in 5 days, you can't do individual coverage with different lighting setups each shot. So I get now why they bombed it with light, because you got to move fast. And so they hit it with those kind of light, like kind of, I don't know. I always pictured Ray's house to be more warm, but it's so blown out with the lighting. But that's because they had to shoot so much, and so much is in profile too. There's so many profile shots, and I think that's quicker than over the shoulder. So I think they framed it in ways where they could just knock it out in 5 days. And that's the kind of brilliance of this setup. Like I learned to appreciate it because I found out how short it was to make all that.
Really,
I wonder how much. Oh, sorry.
Oh, no.
Oh, I was thinking too. It's like when Hugh Grant was delivering those lines, it's almost he had a rhythmic flow to it. So he must have just rehearsed the hell out of those lines in advance to be able to go in and knock that out in 5 days. I mean, that must have taken weeks to get ready for all those lines, and they weren't short either. He was going on and on.
Yeah.
Now, what I read, I don't know if what I read, Mark, was that Guy Ritchie, at least with this movie and probably his other films as well, he would show up the day of filming and change the script.
Yeah.
I wonder if he did that with that dialogue between Hunnam and Grant.
Yeah, he must have, because I know Grant's car got broken into the night before, so he had to throw a lot of stuff out. Like his car got broken into with all of his notes and script, and so he had to show up on set with all new stuff. But yeah, I think it was interesting. I was watching the behind the scenes footage, and the scene with Ray when he's running, chasing the kind of the I don't know, the hood, the kid,
the local punks.
Yeah, the local punks. When that was all improvised on the day. When he when he is talking about, like, I will disappear like the sun's at night when on the dawn, like Guy Ritchie was just throwing lines out for Charlie Hunnam to say, and that was all made up because they liked the kids that were cast. Like they said, they had a good accent. So I mean, he must have been feeling it, Guy Ritchie, this movie, because but also what Hunnam and Ray have during those scenes. I'm sorry, what Ray and why do I keep forgetting Fletcher's name? Like, they're all explaining the plot. So I don't know how much you can improvise with that, because that all has to be like flashbacked and flash forward and cut back to. So maybe that's the technical lifting, and everything else was sort of improv.
Yeah.
Yeah, the narration was interesting to have Hugh Grant deliver the storyline, because it's normally the protagonist that's the narrator or someone really close. Very rarely when it's a third party telling the story.
And just making crap up.
Yeah. And he's saying all the wrong things, because then Hunnam constantly is like correcting him. Let me tell you what really happened. He's just speculating about everything. Yeah.
Oh, it's beautiful. And I love the costume design. They put him in red. They kind of wanted to give him a devilish feel. And I also learned Charlie Hunnam just went shopping with Guy Ritchie for his costume to get into character. The two just got like a black, Visa card by the studio and just went out and bought a load of cardigans for Hunnam to run. I have a question for you guys. Okay, I'm going to forget about this, but I think one cool thing, everyone in this movie is kind of explained of as an animal. So you have McConaughey, who's like an old dog. He's the lion. You have the fox in the hen house, played by Jeremy Strong Matthew. You have the toad, who is Fletcher. And then you have the dragon. And then, like, they also say, like, the feral beast, like Dry Eye.
Oh, the silverback.
Yeah.
There's
like,
silverback, yeah.
But Ray never gets an animal. So what do you two think his animal would be? Because there's so many animals in this movie. Because this movie was originally called Laws of the Jungle, but there was a bunch of movies with jungle in the title, so it got switched to The Gentleman. So
wow, what animal would Ray be?
I know it's
so
a weird question.
Loyalty, independent. I would think it would be like some kind of parrot.
I'd say German Shepherd.
Ooh, because they're loyal.
Doberman. Yeah.
Well, like, if you stick your finger in a bird's cage, it's gonna bite the crap out of your finger.
So if you want to be more animalistic, a pit bull.
Oh, because his personal pit bull with like. Yeah. So we have a pit bull, we have a parrot, and we have a German Shepherd.
Yeah.
But parrots live a long time. They're kind of docile.
They're smart. Parrots are smarter than what people realize.
I kind of like pit bull because super loyal, but then he busts out a machine gun.
What was interesting though, that if you think about it, Ray doesn't have very much action in the film. He's not really. I mean, Colin Farrell's character, what is
Coach?
The coach. and Bugsy Malone and the toddlers, they're the ones that kind of like have the most action in the film. And as Eric said earlier, he doesn't even want to go into the room. He sends in, what's that guy's name? Bunny?
Yeah, Bunny. Yeah.
They call him Smackies? I think they call him Smackies.
Yeah.
I love Bunny, by the way. He's
Bunny's great.
I like how he got winded while chasing those kids around.
Yeah.
And oh man, but
because they're all old guys. That's the thing. They're grown up. They're told this.
It's realistic. Like one of the three of us goes out and then does some sprints around like 4 city blocks. We're gonna be winded.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I have to chase a 15-year-old punk, I'm done. Like there's no chance I'm gonna do that. But
my only chance is not sprinting. I'd have to just do like the steady pace. Hope that they wear out.
That was the beauty of, like, I mean, I don't know what you guys think about the Lethal Weapon films, but that was one of the things that was attractive about the Lethal Weapon films, I think, was that these were, Murtaugh constantly saying, I'm too old for this, and just that whole constant, like, they're just tired, they're.
But was it the second Lethal Weapon when he chased a car by foot and chased it down? Was that the second one where he was running through the streets barefoot without a shirt on? Yeah.
Riggs, yeah.
Well, he's the stud. Glover Murtaugh's the old guy. Like, he doesn't want to do any running. He's sitting on his action scenes involve him like sitting on the toilet and like almost blowing up.
Exactly. Yeah. And that was kind of like Ray. Ray's just like, oh, really, we have to do this again, And then he's just so tired of Fletcher. Love the way he says his name.
But he always gives in to Fletcher.
Fletcher's
like, sit next to me. Yeah. And then he gives him a look like, no. And then he always gives in. He gives in every time Fletcher makes a demand.
Except for the cigarette when he gets up and tries to chase him around the table.
Dude, that was, I think, in my opinion, the best line of the movie. Because he's like, if you're thinking about smoking that in here, don't. And then Hugh Grant was like, I find that confusing. Do you mean don't smoke or don't think?
Don't think.
That was brilliant. That was so funny. Because you had like aggression, but then you had this funny line. It was brilliant writing.
Yeah. I'm so happy that Charlie Hunnam did this movie because I know some people who don't think he's that good of an actor. But between this and The Lost City of Z, I think he really proved himself.
Oh, wow. I love
that.
Dude,
check out Shantaram on Apple TV. I'm watching Shantaram with Charlie Hunnam. He's a convict from Australia who escapes and is hiding in Bombay, and he's helping the poor people of the city. Pretty amazing show and a great performance by Hunnam.
Okay, I got to watch it. And I like seeing him come into his own. Call me crazy, but Lost City of Z should have been nominated for an Oscar. Just no one watched it.
I agree.
And
I agree.
I just point to this, I point to that, and just Lost City of Z. Who's the MVP of this movie? Who do you think steals it?
I think Mickey Pearson's wife, Rosalind, because she was right every single time she talked. She was right. Yeah. I mean, the whole thing about calling Burger a fox. If you let a fox in the hen house, you get blood and feathers everywhere.
Yeah.
Or she also warned him, if word spreads that you're getting out, that could be read as weakness. Every single time she was right, and that's why I think it was. That was a cool character.
She has one of my favorite lines in the movie, in any movie ever. Which I don't know if I can say it here, but she says there's effery afoot.
Yeah.
Remember when she says that?
Yeah. What? I mean, wait. We have a PG-13 rating, so if you want to say it, that's all good.
Yeah, she says there's fuckery afoot. I mean, that was the funniest line, and it was so true, and it was just like it was so brilliantly placed.
And it's fun to say. I mean, that's a fun. Like I want to use that in everyday conversations, but I couldn't get away with it.
Yeah, just casually.
Oh
yeah, go for it.
For me, it was Mickey and Rosalind. That's her name, Rosalind.
Yeah. And then Michelle Dockerie.
The whole. I mean, he was just fighting for her, man, and the way their relationship. You don't see that. That was one of the things that I thought was impressive to me. I don't see that kind of relationship in films that portrayed that much anymore. And it was just like, I mean, and they're pot dealers and whatever, but. Ultimately, they're street hoods, but they have a good marriage,
Yeah.
and that idea of his devotion to her was impressive. I thought that was impressive.
Like think about Goodfellas, Casino, Donnie Brasco, all those, basically pretty much every crime movie ever. It's like, if you can't pack up and leave in 15 minutes, they're not worth it. Like this is a guy who absolutely loves his wife, and then she takes care of two guys with a paperweight. That's amazing. But yeah, they don't fight. There's no
bullets.
cheating. There's no anything, and like it, and also too, this is a grown-up McConaughey performance. Like this is several years into McConaissance. He also played, I believe that movie, The Lincoln Lawyer, where he plays Mickey Holler, and he's Mickey in this, like the Mickeys, and also Mickey's in Snatch. So like Mickey's like tied in with all these people. But like, it's like I think this Killer Joe, Interstellar, I think this is one of the first movies ever where Guy Ritchie uses McConaughey's just like temper. Like you can tell that he's kept it cool. He fought his way up. He's a hyper violent man, but now he's kind of gentrified, but he still has that lion in him, and you can see it in his face. Like you can when he talks to people, when he like understands the game, and it's just I think it's one of the few movies that uses his physicality well. A lot of his shots are in profile, and you sort of actually believe that he's the lion, which I kind of dig. And I guess if I MVP.
But in real life, though, too, I can see McConaughey enjoying marijuana. I don't know if he smokes a lot, but it seems like in real life, I think he believed in that type of character, in that, the legality of marijuana.
I mean, I read his book.
Does he still imbibe?
I read his book, and I think he might still. That's that
book, Green Lights, right?
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
One of my favorite stories from that's how he learned he wanted to train for Rain of Fire. He's like, I'm gonna run 5 miles barefoot. Like he did that for a day. He's like, I'm gonna stand on the edge of and like not fear heights. And like he said he was gonna like take 3 shots of tequila every morning. That didn't last. So if you ever read about his training routine for Rain of Fire, it'll give you a good laugh.
But it's like an epic disaster.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was going through a list of McConaughey movies, and I forgot about Rain of Fire. What a great movie. I love that film.
Remember when he showed up on the tank, and you're just going, it's like Nick Cage when he got jacked in Con Air. You're going, what is happening? Like, he was always in shape. But this was like beefy McConaughey. And you're like, what? Wait, is he bald? Like, does he have a beard? Like, what?
Yeah.
What's happening? And then he just beats up Christian Bale, and you're like, all right, I believe this.
Yeah.
That movie makes me happy. I dig that film.
It does. Yeah.
It's one of the greatest cinematic jumps of all time when he jumps into the dragon's mouth and the dragon just eats him.
Oh, that was great with the axe. Was it an axe?
Yeah, an axe.
Right?
Hey,
little did he know 15 years later he would use a dragon analogy.
Yeah.
In a movie.
Yeah.
Oh, wait,
think about that. Yeah.
Movies where his name is Mickey, movies where there's a dragon reference. I should do like the ultimate McConaughey movie and try to build that to see like all the patterns.
Yeah.
Good idea.
But no, yeah, there's no cheating. They just like each other. That's a really that's odd. You never really think about that.
It's odd in films today. Yeah. You don't really see it. And like you said, Donnie Brasco's. I love Donnie Brasco's based on a true story, but his marriage is falling apart because he's undercover.
Mm-hmm.
You got Scarface. Forget about it. That was just ridiculous. But yeah, and you don't see those. I don't know. It's always broken marriages or guys messing around and
But Marcos, I will say we're all referencing American gangster movies, but the British gangster movies, that's a whole other genre to itself. I mean,
they're more refined.
Yeah, it's like all the British gangster movies are about like that middle tier where they're all kind of somewhat professional. It's like I think Guy Ritchie said that British actors enjoy playing gangsters as much as American actors like playing cowboys.
Oh, that's a great point.
Like, I mean, Blinders.
Yeah. Oh, the Peaky Blinders. Oh man, don't get me started on Cillian Murphy. Like he's, oh my gosh, he is so good in that show.
Yeah. Are you kidding me? Yeah.
I guess you're right though. The kind of idea of like Lock, Stock, and then Snatch, and then Rock and Rolla. Just watching
Layer Cake. Layer Cake too.
Layer Cake. I forgot about
that was like the middle tier professional drug dealers.
Yeah. And even
that
Snatch.
was Daniel Craig, right?
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah.
When he got picked up as Bond and people were complaining about it, I'm like, they just haven't watched Layer Cake yet because that's pretty much all you had to do. And that was Matthew Vaughn who produced Lock, Stock, and Snatch. So like Guy Ritchie and Matthew Vaughn have churned out a lot of, and also Green Street Hooligans. That's a fun movie with Charlie Hunnam as well. He's a soccer hooligan who fights people. Scott Adkins is in the sequel. It's wonderful.
Yeah, I got to catch up on those films. Josh, my son, wanted me to bring up because we watched The Gentleman together, and we watched Snatch, and his favorite movie is Lock, Stock.
Oh.
And there was a line in The Gentleman between Rosalind and Dry Eye, a conversation that they were having. That's a repeat of a line in Snatch.
Oh.
And it basically, Dry Eyes brought the merchandise to the car parts to Rosalind's, auto shop, body shop, whatever it is. And she says, "How much do I owe you?" And he says, "Nothing." And she says, "Okay, how much do I owe you?" And that was a line from Snatch where Benicio del Toro is talking to Boris, the sneaky fucking Russian. And he says, Boris is selling him a gun, and he goes, "It's a revolver," and he says, "How much do you want for it?" And he says, "Nothing."
Yeah.
And Benicio goes, "Okay, five. What is it? 4 fingers.
Four
Maybe
fingers.
4 fingers.
Yeah.
How much do you want for it?" And he repeats it again. It was a repeat of that line from Snatch.
Did anyone else, speaking of the gun in The Gentleman, did anyone else notice how it was literally given to them in a box, like a present? Like,
Yeah.
If a gun is given as a present, like, what's gonna happen later on in the movie.
Yeah. Chekhov's gun.
So instead of just making it subtle, they literally put it as a present.
Yeah.
I thought that was smart.
And there was a whole thing about the gun, and watching some of the behind the scenes stuff. That gun was actually made for the movie, and it's actually made out of 14 karat gold. They made it out of gold, not even gold plated. Guy Ritchie said, no, it's 14 karat gold.
Of course.
And it had a name. I just don't remember the name of it. Something Beyond the Sea or something like that. I forgot what it was. But
of course, in this movie, like, all of McConaughey's suits were bespoke. Even the tracksuits were custom made.
Well, the tracksuits were based on traditional English fashion, like the type of plaid or stripes that they use in the regular suiting, but they tried to take those designs and imprint them on tracksuits for a different generation. So you still had that traditional English style, but it's being customized and carried on in a different way by this new generation, which was so smart.
Man, and
right.
How much are y'all enjoying Colin Farrell's turn as a character actor? Like,
he's amazing.
Not like SWAT Colin Farrell anymore. We're talking Killing of a Sacred Deer, In Bruges, The Lobster. Yeah, The Lobster. Just weirdo Colin Farrell. Just pop it up in movies and stealing the show. His boys mess up, but I love his scene with Ray too, where he's like, "Listen, I got you. Like, I'll pay you back." And then
exactly. Yeah.
Ray's like, "That's cool. I get it. You did me 3 favors. All right, get out of here." And then he does 4, and he gives him the 4.
4 fingers. 4 fingers.
Yeah. Man. 4 fingers. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just it makes me kind of. This is a weird one because this one really works on all cylinders, and then. I think Guy Ritchie goes out and makes kind of Wrath of Man, which is good, but it's a little too hard-boiled kind of for my taste.
That was a more serious, that was a darker film. I liked it. I enjoyed it, but it was definitely, darker edge. It wasn't your typical, it didn't feel like a Guy Ritchie movie.
Yeah.
Well, I like this one. It was almost like a triumphant return. It's like almost, it felt like he was showing off a little bit. Like, for example, like all the film school, I felt like he wrote this for film students.
Like aspect ratio.
Yeah, the aspect ratio. Hey, I'm laying some pipe here. Oh, hey, let's go to the smash cut. Yeah. I felt like he was like writing this for film students and movie buffs out there.
And then like pitching the script to Miramax, and it's just such a. No, you're right. It's I dug those kind of widescreen talks. Like I dug those conversations about it. So it's like inside baseball. It was a more mature return to his like gangster roots, but he's also, he married Madonna. He made 2 Sherlock Holmes movies. He made $1 billion grossing Aladdin film. Like, if he wants to have a 14 karat gold gun in a $23 million budget movie,
14 karat gold gun. Why not?
He also has, Gritchie Brewing is real. You see that truck outside of the bar.
What is it?
I looked it up online. He has a brewery a beer brewery in England called Gritchie Brewing. And so if you type it in, you see his beers that he has on tap. Like, he has an Instagram page. So he's like this dude who's making craft beers. He's getting.
If I'm in
bespoke
England, I
outfits.
would go to his brewery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they would kick me out because I'd be trying to talk like, Brad Pitt from Snatch.
We've never heard that before. Thank you.
Yeah, Guy Ritchie's been a pretty big part. I remember in the 90s of my life, like in the 90s when the MTV Movie Awards, they used to be pretty cool. They handed out this first time director award to like Sofia Coppola, Wes Anderson, Doug Liman for Swingers. And then I learned about Lock Stock, so I got the VHS. And then when Snatch came out, I was a junior in high school, and I went immediately after school to go see it. And I bought the DVD with the cards, like they came with packing like cards with it. I think Sherlock Holmes was the first Blu-ray I ever bought. So yeah, I feel like Guy Ritchie's sort of just popped in and out of my life for the last, I don't know, 24 years, I guess.
Hey, speaking of Sherlock Holmes, they had a pretty good right-hand man in Sherlock Holmes as well.
Oh, Jude Law.
Yeah, I mean, it almost felt like he's a leading man, but he took a step back to be the right-hand man to Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah. That's Watson, right? Yes.
Yeah, because that's when RDJ was white hot. So like, but I mean, I think Hunnam was happy. Did you guys ever watch the movie that he did with Guy Ritchie, the King Arthur movie? Where
Oh, I love King Arthur.
It's fun.
I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah.
I thought it was so much fun. It was, the music, the soundtrack, the way they filmed that. It was.
Was it
I
overly
loved it.
stylistic?
Yes.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Did Guy Ritchie do the Robin Hood one too?
No, he didn't do the
Okay.
turn. The way they explain
That
the
was
new,
Ridley Scott.
I read about the new King Arthur, but they said it was kind of King Arthur with geezers. And
With what?
with geezers, like
Yeah.
British gangsters. And I remember watching it and going like, this is $170 million, and they allowed this. Like this, it kind of blew. Like as much as I love that movie, I feel like it's $170 million movies like that kind of are the reason why we justifiably have nothing but like Marvel and Top Gun and DC in our theaters, because
Like Waterworld,
Yeah.
200 million, and
yeah. And
yeah.
it didn't come anywhere near to make its money back, and it's not a cult classic. But I watched it and I was like, why do people hate this? Like, this is fun. This is big animals and monsters and like
Yeah.
not mermaids, whatever they are, banshees, sirens.
Jude Law was in it.
Yeah. Oh, he has a lot of return actors, Guy Ritchie. So people must just like working with him. They must like sort of being on set. And you know what's another interesting thing? Kate Beckinsale had Michelle Dockerie's role first, and she was on set for about a week, and then she left. And then they brought in Michelle Dockerie. And I like Michelle Dockerie. Listen, I love Kate. I love Katie B. But Dockerie's kind of perfect in this movie, I think.
She's sharp.
Yeah, I think she is. Yeah. She's great.
She's pointed. She's sharp.
It's a different vibe. I mean, that's her character in Downton Abbey. I don't know if you ever watched that. Like Lady Mary. She'll
never seen
I've
it.
never watched it, but I know she's in that.
Listen, y'all. She'll drop you with some words. Like she'll lay you out. She's quick. So seeing her in this, just kind of like laying like that scene with her and Henry Golding. You know what's crazy? Henry Golding's first day on set was the day where he has to sit down with Matthew McConaughey and offer him, put all the zeros into the calculator. That was his first day on set. Which
didn't you like
clicking.
that? How you heard the clicking? You
Yeah.
hit the number of clicks that they did, and after a few clicks, then Hunnam turns around like
Yeah.
a lot of clicks.
I couldn't tell. I was wondering if he was actually just erasing and then adding again. Like he was just kind of like, what do I do? He's just making it up.
Oh, fat fingered that one.
Yeah. Exactly.
or maybe he put a dot, like a 4 million dot, like 9999 cents. But
he spells it out. He spells it out just like 400 million.
What is it? He just spells out boobies on his calculator and then flicks it over to him. But I think he said he would pay him trillions of dollars if he got
yeah, you think it was trillions?
that business. But just I also like Dry Eye a lot in this movie because he's not totally incapable either. He's like in the middle. Like he's not a toddler anymore, but he's not the lion. So he's kind of like a hyena, but like, you know what I mean? He's not there yet. And
I wish they made that character more multidimensional.
Oh, just Dry Eye?
Yeah.
I guess he just shows up and what? But I kind of buy that because, I taught high schoolers and I currently teach college students and they know everything. Like and so I feel like he's older than that, but I feel like he's in his college years of gangsterhood where he feels like he's untouchable and the young blood, and he doesn't really understand the laws yet, but he has that kind of cock of the walk, for lack of a better term.
He wore cool clothes too. I love that jacket he had with all the fabric around the neck.
Yeah.
Everyone was different. Like everyone had, I would be the Charlie Hunnam. I would be Ray. I'd be cardiganed. I'd have cool sweaters.
What did you guys think of? Because I forgot to look up some more behind the scenes on this guy, Matthew, the Jewish.
Jeremy Strong.
He's in Succession.
He was hysterical. He was so deadpan. I loved it.
He ended every sentence with Michael.
Yeah.
With this Mossad crabs.
I've been swimming with sharks for 20 years. And but I bought into him because I feel like he has been swimming with sharks for 20 years. He just, he hasn't been roaming. This isn't the other guys where the kelp get the breathing apparatuses and go fight the lions. Like they haven't done that yet.
He's the polar opposite of Dry Eye. That's the cool part.
Yeah, just totally chill. Probably has billions. He's a fox. He is a fox.
He's a fox. Yeah. The fox in the hen house. Yeah.
But just Michael. Yeah. Hey, Michael. Like, I'm telling y'all, I love the kind of adult gangsters in this and how different they all are. It makes me so happy. But yeah, I mean, I think he added, what I like about Jeremy Strong is he goes deep into, character acting. And I know in Succession, he's done a lot of that, but it's like watching him in The Trial of Chicago 7, Molly's Game, like Black Mass, like Selma. He just seems to, I don't know. He just brings something. He's this character actor always brings something a little funky to the role, and I don't think I've ever seen a Matthew type in a movie as like a gangster.
And he was interesting. Yeah. I was interested in hearing the way he talked and his quips.
Mm-hmm.
It's Matthew. What is?
He was. I just loved his deadpan style. It was just, and that scene where they're at the Lord's house or whoever that guy was at the beginning, and they're, he one-upped Mickey by donating an entire, building or something, entire wing, and that was.
But then they had a conversation about wardrobe. They basically talked about the importance of wardrobe in real life, which is really just Guy Ritchie calling out like why he dressed the characters the way he did.
Yeah.
Guy Ritchie would hate the way I dress. Jeans, brewery t-shirts, hats from coffee shops that I buy. He would be annoyed. A Fitbit. I wouldn't be.
I want to rock that clothes that they wear in London, but we're down here in South Florida, man. I've tried, believe me, but it's like you come back home within 2 minutes and you're like, I can't do this.
Imagine wearing all that wool.
Yeah, I know.
It's a lot of layers.
It's a lot of layers.
What is that? I know this sounds weird, but in the movie, The Interview, Seth Rogen goes on this trip and he goes on this long hike, but all he brings is one bottle of water. And he's like, I packed like a fool. So I feel like if you go out in August in Miami in Charlie Hunnam's wear, you're gonna be like, I dressed like a fool. Yeah,
December in Miami. Forget August. December in Miami.
I dressed like a fool.
He's got to like hide machine guns, so he's got to wear the pea coat.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Who's the main character of this movie? Is he the main character of this movie?
No, I think Mickey is for
Mickey?
Sure. I think Mickey. Yeah,
I think Hugh Grant is. He tells the story.
Yeah,
I just thought about that. Like, but he balances.
But Hugh Grant's like the fool. He's kind of like the jester, It's just, I don't know. To McConaughey's king.
That's actually a
king of the jungle.
That's a great point, because if you think about jesters, they do tell the stories. They do, and then that's his role in this. And it is about the laws of the jungle. So then you kind of have like the court jester telling the tale. It's interesting, but no, just I don't know. It's one of those movies I think snuck out kind of came out of nowhere for me, and it pulled in 115 million worldwide. This movie was a hit.
So I didn't know about it until Marcos recommended it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because
you're welcome.
This was released.
And here we are.
Yeah.
When did this hit theaters?
2018 was it?
2020.
It came out in 2019, but I think it hit the U.S. in 2020.
Yeah, it came out in 2020, right before the pandemic, and it still pulled in 115 million worldwide. Wow. So people dug this.
And you said, Eric, did it have bad reviews? You said something about like it.
Only from the top critics, the most jaded
top critics. Really?
Critics.
Yeah.
but it has 75% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes. But you know how the top critics came out kind of knives out.
Yeah.
Like, you know, Henry,
84% audience score.
The important one of the important ones is IMDb, 7.8 out of 10, 336,000 ratings. 7.8. So the average IMDb rating is 6.8. So if you average every single score out, 6.8. And you don't see many 7.8s in here. Like, this is almost reaching the IMDb probably like top 250 list. So like, people absolutely adore this movie.
So I got a question for you guys. Do you think the audience and critics appreciate it more or less if you're into Guy Ritchie movies? Can you watch this movie as a standalone without understanding the style and all of his past movies? Just general rhetorical question.
I think that people like you either like Snatch or you hate Snatch, and I know people who hated Snatch, and then there's people who I know more of who thought Snatch was brilliant, and I think it's just you either enjoy this, and also it has to do. It's not even Guy Ritchie. I think Guy Ritchie does a great job in putting a spotlight on English culture and history. That's why when he wanted to do King Arthur. He did it because it's such a part of English lore that he just, it was one of his, I think I read that it was one of his passion projects that he wanted to make that movie. So it's very English. So if you appreciate English culture, if you appreciate, if you're an Anglophile, whatever, you're going to love Guy Ritchie films, especially if you're a dude and you like gangsters, you know.
They did talk about, they talked about culture a lot in this, about how he used the selling drugs to navigate the upper levels of British society. And then they also talked about the tax system and
the estates
some
of the lords.
So I thought this is one of the more interesting business propositions when it comes to gangster movies. I mean, other gangster movies is about robbing a bank or something, but this one is really well thought out. And I think one of my favorite parts of the movie was when they first took Berger into the first area, and they let that scene breathe. They took their time. They had a conversation about the business proposition and about what happens when it becomes legal. And that to me was really smart. A lot of times you don't let that whole scenario play out the way it did.
How do you deal with these drugs? We put them into Russian nesting dolls and then we ship them. Like, that's in most movies, but this one seemed really well thought out. Yeah.
You'll be sitting on $1 billion business, and then this guy says, Matthew says, well, why sell it then? I want to enjoy some nice walks in the park, and he's taking up some
young cubs.
Yeah.
I love that he's talking about retiring, but Rosalind's like, what are you gonna do? Like, I'm not retiring. I don't want to retire from this. But that was a fun But just the way that they break down the actual drug distribution, and then they go to the seafood place, and just the whole aspect of it. Guy Ritchie knows something.
The manufacturing or the way he set up the warehouses underground at these old English manors. I remember a few years ago watching a series, BBC, of course, that was about these manors that had been in families for generations, but now these families these houses are becoming these burdens on them, so they're renting them out for
Airbnb.
Events. Yeah, Airbnb for weddings, for events like that, because they can't afford to keep the upkeep of the manors. So I think that played well. That was a great, way of, what better way to, supplement your income than to grow weed underground on your manor, And that was a pretty vast project too. And the way they laid it out, it looked like to me like it was just containers, right? It didn't look like just a bunch of containers underground, just lined up, and just that it was really cool. Like, if I was gonna grow weed, I would do it that way.
We'd have to move from Florida. That's the only problem.
Yeah, we have too much limestone underground. It's all saturated in water, so it wouldn't work. Yeah.
We don't have basements in Florida.
No. It'd be flooded immediately. Yeah.
I spent $200 million on this. What's the deal?
It would have to be a type of drug that does really well with a lot of water.
That's right. Yeah.
What was it? Hydroponics?
Yeah.
Oh no. But
Yeah.
I have a question about this movie though. It's I think Snatch and Lock, Stock have achieved the cult classic status that they have. Is they're rough around the edges, but they're kind of more blue collar. You have Jason Statham and his assistant
Vinny
talking
Jones.
about the Germans.
Vinny
Like
Jones,
you just have people, Bricktop's the head of the everyone's worried about Bricktop. These are just sort of the bottom feeders of kind of gangster culture, and it's cheesy. It's kind of, you can, you have the pikeys, and sort of lack of a better word, the gypsies, the travelers. Sorry if I'm messing up that word, but I think it's more sort of accessible and cheeky and stylish. But The Gentleman, I wonder if The Gentleman's going to have a massive audience moving forward, because it's so, it's just adult criminals behaving intelligently. There's really not much sex. There's not an explicit amount of violence. There's a lot of conversation. So I think, listen, critics liked it, audiences liked it, and made a bunch of money. But do you think it's going to take on a set? And I'm not blaming the movie for this. It's a very adult, good movie that was successful. But do you think it'll have a life like Snatch will?
Maybe. There's just so much more content now than there was when Snatch and Lock, Stock came out.
Yeah.
Like right now, I talked to people. I was on an airplane yesterday, and I was just talking to this guy about shows, and I'm like, it's almost, and you recommend a show, and people are like, yeah, whatever. I've got 10 other shows lined up, so I'm not going to take your recommendation. It's like if you recommend something these days, people don't listen. Unless Marcos recommends a movie, I'll watch it. But I keep telling people about The Gentleman, and I don't know. I hope it takes off.
They're making Eric, you shared that
TV show.
That story about the TV show on Netflix that Guy Ritchie's producing. And I read the synopsis of it. It's really it's going to be interesting, because I think it has to do with one of the manor house owners and his pot farm underground.
That's a great point. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so it is. It somebody saw something in it to allow Guy Ritchie to make a series on Netflix, which I think is a big deal. Yeah.
That's a great point, because it feels like TV shows are more talked about than movies these days. Movies come and go, but TV shows kind of linger around longer in public conversation.
Ooh,
Do we still call them TV shows? Is that what we call them, or?
No, streaming shows. Mark, what do you call them?
Streaming shows.
Yeah, I guess streaming shows. I don't want to call Andor anything. I want to call Andor like a classic. I don't even want to, like, that's a prestige television. I don't know. But yeah, so I read here Vinny Jones is going to be in it, Giancarlo Esposito, and also Kaya Scodelario, who's in one of my favorite movies of the last 5 years called Crawl, where she's in a crawl space during a hurricane in Florida with gators attacking her.
Yeah, in Tampa, right?
Yeah.
I think she's in Tampa. There's a hurricane, there's an alligator. Yeah.
A low budget movie that far exceeded expectations.
13.
That was a Blumhouse. Was that Blumhouse?
It was.
Was it Jason Blum?
No, it was. I don't know who produced it, but Alejandro Aja directed it and had $13 million budget. And so I actually teach it to my students, because I showed, like, when I found out that movie had a $13 million budget, my jaw dropped, because that's like one of the best looking.
Wow.
I thought it was like 50. But I think they went over to Bulgaria and shot it. They got a bunch of tax incentives and everything. But
Bulgaria.
They had a giant warehouse. People go over to like Budapest, different countries and everything. But like, you go to Budapest and you can make Blade Runner 2049. You can make it because you get gigantic. You get a break. Like Blade 2, they shot there and they paid their extra $16 a day. But in LA it would be $300. In Atlanta it's like $70. So you can get more bang for your buck. But still, $13 million to make Crawl? Yeah. Come on.
They should have made Hard Rain out in Budapest, Mark.
Yeah,
or like Crawl.
Hard Rain, man.
Yeah,
oh wow.
Not LA. Eric and I covered that the other day, and that's
really.
Yeah, that's
I gotta go back and listen to that.
Yeah, I gotta edit and release, but I just like high concept action films. I just like Rainstorm, like Hurricane Heist, Snakes on a Plane. Give me a movie that you can explain in the title in an elevator.
Clown Cruise.
Yeah, Clown Cruise.
It's terrifying. That's nightmare fuel, as Colin Farrell said, is called The Coach and The Gentleman.
Nightmare fuel. You can't get off the ship surrounded by clowns. That is a nightmare.
So what are your favorite moments from The Gentleman? Like, I think my favorite line, real quick, is when he's called a Cockney Cleopatra and a Cowboy Caesar. Like that's like, I paused.
Cockney Cleopatra.
I paused that and I just went, that's really great. That made me so happy to hear it, because she's a Cockney Cleopatra and he's a Cowboy Caesar.
Who called him that?
It was Hugh Grant who said that.
It was when he was setting up the story.
Yeah.
Oh god, that was hilarious.
What a great line. And I'm so happy. Like, I hope we don't get a prequel about Matthew's rise or Mickey's rise, because Michael's rise. It's just, I don't want that. We've seen that. That's Breaking Bad. Like, we've seen that movie before. So I'm so. When's like John Wick? I guess he's already established. It's kind of weird to have this kind of movie, right? Like, well, I guess it's not. You have the retired person. I thought I was out, but they brought me back in for one more. I'm on a rant here, so you don't have to go along with it.
They need to leave the gentleman alone.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the series is fine.
Yeah.
Because
it builds on it.
It's an offshoot of that story. Mickey won't be in it, neither will most of these characters, and it's fine.
Yeah, they're taking the concept and really building it out.
Yeah. We're finishing watching. We're going through Breaking Bad now, and we're gonna, before we get into Better Call Saul, because I haven't seen Better Call Saul yet. And I heard good things about it, so I said, let me go back and watch Breaking Bad and then continue. And I think that's a good continuation.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't make a sequel to The Gentleman. You just let it be.
Well, do any Guy Ritchie movies have sequels?
Well,
sure,
Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah. Oh, good call.
But Snatch doesn't, Lock, Stock doesn't, and they don't need to. They're perfect. They're just perfect little films that you can go back and watch. They're rewatchables for sure. You can just go back and watch them over and over again. I watch Snatch at least twice a year. It's insane. Yeah, how many times I watch that film.
One of my favorite lines from The Gentleman was how they said, "Another slice of Americana causing drama." Because you have Berger and McConaughey, and I think the reason why I like that, aside from the alliteration and the flow of the line, was I like how Guy Ritchie really involves Americans in his movies. I mean, he brings in a lot of rappers too. Like Ludacris was in Rock and Rolla.
They had Farsight in this one, right? Wasn't that Farsight with "Oh shit"? Wasn't that them? That whole chase scene. They had "Oh shit" as one of the songs. I think that was a Farsight. I hope I got that right.
I need to look into that, because I haven't really looked into the soundtrack too much. But I do know that Bugsy Malone said that he would do this movie for free because Snatch is his favorite movie.
There you go.
So, yeah, he's like Snatch is. You know what's great about Snatch and The Gentleman is that there's some twists and turns, but when you watch Goodfellas, Casino, you just feel like you need a nap. Like, you feel like you need sunlight.
Yeah.
I don't want to watch those movies much. Like, I love them, and I don't think I could ever debate their quality, because they're absolute, wonderful material. But if someone gave me a choice of watching Casino and Goodfellas or Snatch and The Gentleman, it wouldn't in a heartbeat, because you don't get dragged into hell in Snatch. You don't or The Gentleman. It's a nice stylish. Exactly. I'm not trying to be reductive here, but it's just a nice, stylish, fun experience. And you know what's nice about? I think I love Snatch, right? I would put Snatch ahead of probably all of his other movies, but it still feels like a little bit of Tarantino-esque, British Tarantino gangster vibes. But I like about.
Oh, but then he went to Rock and Rolla and he went Tarantino-like, and I hated it. It was not fun.
Oh, really?
I hated that one. Everything about Rock and Rolla.
Oh, yeah. I knew you hate that message when you Eric sent me a text message going, "I hate Rock and Rolla." In other words. And then I was
sorry, I've been trying to keep it positive.
And I
really did not like that movie.
And that's fine. And I responded like, I dig it. Like, I like Tom Hardy in it. I like Toby Kebbell a lot. And I got no response. I'm like, yeah, Eric wants nothing to do with Rock and Rolla.
Well, I try to keep things positive. I didn't have anything good to say.
Tom Hardy, I think he's a fantastic actor. I loved him in Peaky Blinders as Solomon. Alfie Solomon, I think is his name.
I don't know the name of the character.
And
Handsome Bob in Rock and Rolla. Not to be confused with Gorgeous George from Snatch.
Right. Well, the problem with Tom Hardy, I was watching Legends, which is the story of the Krays, and he plays the two Krays, and it's again just really Tom Hardy goes dark, man. He is a dark guy. He just goes, he can't help, and even in Venom, he's great in Venom, but he goes dark, right? He just plays these dark characters.
No, what was that movie with Chris Pine where they were fighting over Reese Witherspoon?
This means war.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
that
the
one.
only lighthearted movie I can ever imagine him being in.
And it doesn't
And he's
feel
so
right.
good.
Yeah.
He's so good. There's a fight scene in Legends where it's because it's
The bar fight.
the bar fight between it's him. You know, it's the two of him. It was so brilliantly done. I loved it. But yeah, it's just art. Yeah.
Mark, didn't he get into an actual fight with Shia LaBeouf on that movie in the South where they were bootleggers?
Yeah. Apparently Shia knocked him out.
Whoa.
Shia's wiry, but right now, that if you type in Tom Hardy jiu-jitsu, he's just going around winning tournaments. So he's currently I think if you type his name in, like he just won a couple of tournaments recently.
He's itching for a rematch with Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah.
Or with his brother from Warrior, like the
yeah.
Warrior sequel.
Listen, Shia's wiry. Like I feel like that dude could pack a punch. Like he seems to have that sort of manic pixie punching ability that could blank
first
somebody out.
Punching ability.
Yeah, the first episode that Mark and I did on this show was Warrior. And we talked about why at the end Hardy's matches were so short because he didn't have a martial arts background. So he would just knock people out right away. But 15 years later, he's winning tournaments. That's impressive.
Yeah.
Wasn't that one of your favorite movies, Eric? Warrior?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's top 5.
Telling me that.
It's a beautiful flick. It's just so good. But yeah, if Tom Hardy's in this movie, it's a different vibe, y'all. He's gonna be sweaty. He's just gonna. I don't even think Tom Hardy would fit in this film.
It's not, because this one is fun. It's upbeat.
Yeah.
It's alive.
Oh.
Okay, we haven't talked about the grill, y'all. The foot warmer.
Oh my gosh, yeah. The keep your knees warm and grill your steak at the same time.
It's irresistible to Fletcher.
I'll give it to you now if you just leave. That was so great. That was such a great line. I'll let you take it if you just leave.
I remember watching that with my wife Megan, and we were just looking at that thing, going like, "We need that. Like, I need."
Yeah, man.
That's probably.
That was beautiful.
And it was custom made by Guy Ritchie, so it's probably easy $50K, like probably with the canvas like in the back holding it up and just. But I was and then he busts out like Wagyu steak, and you're just.
Yeah.
Like, that's a good night. Drink a good scotch. Like, he played Fletcher so good. But I think anybody would be played by that. Just like, oh man, I got scotch.
It's very seductive.
Yeah.
It is, man. It is.
I'm like, can I have one of your cardigans? I'll leave if you give me one of your cardigans. That's what I would say to him. Like,
so cardigan, Wagyu.
What?
I didn't know he designed that. I didn't know he designed that grill.
Yeah, and that, like, he had the his brewery in there. He had the grill in there. He took him shopping. I kind of like that. Like, from where he came from with Lock, Stock as kind of a hustler. Like, he, music video, worked his way up. I feel like he's, in a way, Mickey used his influence to kind of get to the upper echelon with the Lords, but he's still always going to be that drug dealer. I think Guy Ritchie sort of used his prestige to, marry Madonna, become a millionaire, get that prestige. But maybe he still looked at it as that gangster director.
Yeah.
So I wonder if there's a bit of Guy Ritchie in there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he did say that this film has a lot of him in it.
Oh.
Yeah, he did. I read that. I just read that today. I was just looking up, trying to find some other stuff. But he basically said, yeah, this film has a lot of me in it. Yeah.
Oh gosh. And also, I think your son will like this, but Sting's daughter is in this movie, and Sting was in Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels.
Was she? Oh, is she the meth head?
Yeah, she's the meth head in this movie.
Oh, the heroin addict. Sorry, heroin.
The singer.
I can see that. I could see that the way she looked.
Yeah, she.
That's his daughter. Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, Elliot Sumner. That's his daughter. So all these years later, he brought back Sting's daughter to be in The Gentleman from his bartender in Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And guns always play an important part too in his movies. This is really random, but Lock, Stock with the rifles, right? I mean, the entire movie hinges on that. And then, of course, in Snatch, this year says, what?
The fake gun, the gun that doesn't work.
Yeah.
Eagle. Was it the
replica?
Desert Eagle. Yeah, the replicas and the Desert
and
Eagle.
The other ones said replicas. Yeah.
And yours say replicas. And then this one with the golden gun. And she plugs those two guys square in the forehead.
Right? Yeah, man. That was incredible. I was like, wow, that's a good shot.
What do you
Twice.
There are a couple bits in this movie, and I want to see what y'all think about it, because we do have Fook And so, I mean, what do you think about the whole kind of, they pull him out of the trunk, he jumps off, they need parachutes, but it's Fook, like this, but it's Fook. Like, I don't know where that accent came from, but like, what do you think about the bits? Do you like those moments?
I thought they were provocative on purpose. Because I remember some of the interviews with Hunnam, he was like, "Oh, I can't wait to offend a bunch of Americans because of the amount of C-bombs that were in there." We just got to realize that the words got different meanings in the different countries. There's just different norms that they have. But I think Guy Ritchie was a little come at me, bro, just trying to have some provocative things just to push the envelope and get people talking.
Yeah.
And Henry Golding had to defend the movie as well, because in his scenes, people do sort of, pull fake accents and call him a Chinaman and everything like that. But he's like, this is a gangster movie. He's like, I don't want these. Yeah. He's like, I don't want it being homogenized into nothingness. But he's like, I felt safe on set the entire time. It wasn't like, it wasn't, what's the word? Just gratuitous, I guess. No. And so he said he felt that.
Comeback line. He gets a comeback line. I forgot what it was, but he takes a shot at one of the English dudes.
Yeah. It's like
one of the white English dudes.
Oh, I'm trying to remember that one.
Oh,
I don't remember it right now, but he does take a shot.
You know what we haven't talked about? The vomit.
Oh, no. Yeah.
The poisoning of the drink. That seemed out of place to me.
Lord George,
that's his name. Yeah.
Mickey hates his vices.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know I thought it was kind of annoying because, he's justifying it to himself that I only sell marijuana, therefore I'm not a bad guy.
Yeah.
So I get what he's trying to say in terms of the heroin and the cocaine versus the marijuana, but I don't know, it just seemed like they were using that to say, okay, I'm a good gangster.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, I'm like, yeah, whatever. You're still a gangster. You've got blood on your hands, just like everyone else.
Yeah, exactly.
How much?
Yeah, they played scenes of that Sting's daughter, dying on the front lawn while that scene with Lord George was going on, and that was the whole thing. Hey, you're a bad guy, because you're selling this stuff. You're poisoning people. We're not, Yeah. But I think Guy Ritchie. One of the things that they didn't get into a lot, but when I saw the behind the scenes, is it Hunnam? Is that how you pronounce it, Hunnam?
Charlie Hunnam or Hunnam? Yeah, one
Charlie
of
Hunnam.
Yeah.
And Guy Ritchie, they said they sat down for like 3 hours and talked about a bunch of other stuff besides the movie. And Charlie told him about the marijuana industry in California and gave him great detail about it. So apparently these two guys have a lot of insight into weed, and the weed business.
And it could have been a political statement too about the legalization.
Yeah, it could have been. Yeah. They at least seem to have some kind of appreciation for it. Yeah.
And then he makes him vomit.
Yeah.
Just explode with puke.
Projectile vomiting across the table. That was disgusting.
The Exorcist type vibes. While Charlie Hunnam's in the back with kind of his OCD. If he's pulling Steve McQueen's in the background, you can tell though. There's some scenes where he's in the background doing weird blinks. So remember on Magnificent Seven where Steve McQueen kept background acting while Yul Brynner was saying lines because Steve McQueen wanted the eye to be on him, like the audience to watch him, and it became like a big thing.
I don't remember.
You gotta read about it because McQueen in the background was fiddling with his gun, fiddling with his hat, fiddling with his shirt, and so when you're supposed to be focusing on Yul Brynner, you're in the background like, why is Steve McQueen picking his nose? Like, is Steve McQueen? Like, why is he playing peekaboo with the audience? Like, I don't understand what's going on here. So I did notice a little bit of Hunnam in the back there, kind of blinking and sort of pulling his little twitches. But that makes sense, I guess. I'm not OCD. I don't know exactly what he had, but that doesn't stop when you're sitting there when your boss is talking to somebody in a shady place. So I guess that makes sense. But yeah, I mean, listen, Mickey knows he's bad. I think to get that far and to murder that many people, like he knows, but maybe that's how you keep yourself. That's how you sleep at night.
Justify it to yourself.
Yeah. A lot of self-justification. Yeah, for sure.
And he's not doing human trafficking, so that's nice.
People do that all the time. Like you do something bad, but I do good things for my community, so it's okay.
Oh yeah.
That's such a common intellectual fallacy that we see every day from all walks of life.
Yeah.
Two wrongs make a right as well. Like like, you do this, but I do this. Like, I shot him. I only broke his leg. Like, so it's cool
Yeah,
what I did.
yeah.
Your crime is way worse than mine, so
Scumbag.
you're way worse.
Yeah.
I like his talk about vices though. He's like vice.
Yeah.
He's like, you do this, but like those are vices as well. He's like, yeah, but I don't do them. Like it's kind of a brat argument right there because they both know what's going on.
Yeah.
And then vomit.
Yeah, he tells him, you have every vice. I think he tells him something. Mickey tells him something like that. You're a victim to every vice or something to that nature. Yeah.
That might be some of the most surprise vomit since maybe I don't know, like Hot Tub Time Machine or that Hall Pass movie, which is one of the worst films I've ever seen. Hall Pass.
What do you think it was kind of like the Dumb and Dumber bathroom scene maybe? Except they didn't show it there, but you knew what was going on.
Imagine if they did add that. That would be a different movie entirely. Poor Lord George just on the bathroom.
Just crapping his pants.
Oh gosh. And just like then what? Dry Eye kills him, and I don't know.
It's too bad because Lord George was smart about his business. At least he played the game. He had his territory.
Yeah.
And then he just got supplanted by this young brash guy.
Yeah.
Henry Golding. After Crazy Rich Asians, I love seeing him in this movie. I dug him.
Yeah, I think he did it just so he wasn't typecast as the nice guy. The debonair nice guy.
I felt so bad watching Snake Eyes because. Like,
oh, that was horrible. Was that him?
Yeah, and also Andrew Koji is in it, who is in a show called Warrior. I think it's called Warrior. But yeah, he's just an unbelievable, really good act. And Iko Uwais is in it, like my favorite action star of the Raid.
They wasted
Raid 2.
Iko in Snake Eyes.
We were sitting in the movie theater, and I think it's the first movie we went to post-pandemic. And whenever action scenes started, we went, ugh. Like that's.
Yeah.
But then when characters were on the screen, you kind of liked it. But then when it went to an action moment, you're like, ugh. Because the amount of cuts in the. I made a prediction that he was going to be like the next big action star. Then I watched Snake Eyes and I went, oh no. So I was definitely wrong on that. But yeah, I mean, credit to Guy Ritchie for bringing him in though. I think he adds style. Like he fits alongside all these guys. Like he holds his own.
He's interesting.
But I think so.
Colin Farrell, Matthew McConaughey, Charlie Hunnam, Michelle, Downton Abbey, like this big. I don't know. He said that people just joined on to this movie. I read an interview where Guy Ritchie just said, yeah, it came together easy. People read the script and wanted in. I'm like, oh my gosh. And I know McConaughey complained about it because he said every day on set he was just getting new lines. But then he said but he did say the new lines make the movie better. So he's like, so what am I to do? But a quick question for you guys. Like, what's your favorite movie of the McConaissance? So let's say it started with Lincoln Lawyer. And then, went on from there. Like, what are your favorite performances of his since maybe like 2011?
I'll say Mud.
Oh yeah, what a movie.
Oh, I have to see that. That's one of them. So you guys enjoy that movie?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The director, Jeff Nichols, his brother's in a band called Lucero, which is one of my favorite bands of all time.
Oh, okay,
one of the best live bands out there, by the way.
And so when he started making movies, he started with a movie called Shotgun Stories. And so I was like, oh man, Ben Nichols' brother is making movies. But now Ben Nichols is Jeff Nichols' brother because Jeff Nichols made like Midnight Special and Take Shelter, which is one of my all-time favorite films. I think I've never been hit harder by a movie. But yeah, Mud, like he respects the Midwest. He respects the lower class. Like it's not, oh dang, Fred, where's my alligator and my weed? Like I think he likes these people and
there's a lot of stories to be told between the coasts.
And he just looks so he did Lincoln Lawyer, Bernie, Killer Joe, The Paperboy, Mud, Magic Mike, Dallas Buyers Club, Wolf of Wall Street. Then he did True Detective, Interstellar.
True Detective is the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's not a film, but True Detective was outrageously good. He was so good in that.
Yeah. Made me want to drink Lone Star.
Yeah.
And just talk to people inside of interrogation rooms.
If you're in Texas, Lone Star tastes really good.
Yeah. That, and there's another one too. It's the Bach, Shiner Bach. Some Shiner. Get some Shiner out there when you're there.
Yeah, Shiner Bach. That's good Texas stuff. But True Detective was Louisiana. So it's what is it? A beta.
Oh, beta. I love some Abita. They have that gay Strawgator. That's a good beer right there.
Gay Strawgator?
Yeah, Strawgator. I like Strawgator.
Oh, Strawgator. Okay.
Yeah. But they I don't know. And then he had some rough roles there, but then he just started like, because he had White Boy Rick, Serenity, Dark Tower, Gold. So he had a bunch of duds, but then, Beach Bum and Gentleman, he sort of kicked back up, and I think he's been doing pretty great since then.
I think the favorite feature performance is Mud. I think my favorite McConaughey cameo was Wolf of Wall Street. The pounding of the chest.
Yeah. And then
my favorite was Tropic
mentoring.
Oh, TiVo.
Yes.
I got your TiVo.
His son that he did, his like adolescent son that he takes him. He's just this floppy kid looking at his screen. That was so funny. He just look at him and go. It was so funny.
Yeah, I loved having him back in that movie, and I would really recommend reading his book. I don't know if you ever have the time to.
No. I honestly, I just heard about it. I got to pick it up. Yeah,
it's a good read. And then I also read the Dazed and Confused book, and he had a lot of stuff in there too. So I kind of loved reading about.
I want to read that just for Parker Posey.
Yeah. A couple things. Sorry to Mark explain, but I love what she did on Dazed and Confused, because she saw that the only people who were getting major roles were kind of improv'd. And so her and Joey Lauren Adams at night would look through the script and pick places to improv and fall down or different lines. And that's why they have so much screen time, and some other people don't, because they figured out a way to adapt on Dazed and Confused, Parker Posey said. So that makes me happy.
Parker Posey is one of my favorite actresses, if I can say actresses. She's so funny. She can do almost any role, and she can be heinous, like this heinous person. Yeah, I saw her in I watched Lost in Space on Netflix.
Yes.
And that was so good. I love that series. Mm-hmm. And she was brilliant in that. But you're right, I forgot Dazed and Confused. She brought life to that movie. She really did.
And like Blade Trinity, I don't think it's a good movie, but she owns every second of it. She's just. And then also Scream 3. So I recently did a series about Scream 3 on Movies, Films, and Flicks, and I watched Scream 3 again, and her and Courtney Cox together, like they said on set on Scream 3 with Parker Posey that like the crew would show up during her scenes because they just knew that something insane would happen. So whenever Parker was up, the entire crew would just watch her jump into Warburton's arms or say something stupid.
What was her role in Scream 3?
She played Courtney Cox in Scream.
In the movie?
6. Yeah, so Scream 3. I forget which one they were on by that time. I think they're on Scream 1.
6.
Good
Lord.
They're up to 8 in the.
I don't even know there were that many.
Oh no, Stab. She was in Stab 3.
Yeah, it was the fake movie based on the movie Scream.
But also, I just. This is completely off, but speaking of wardrobe, there's a scene where Courtney Cox walks into a soundstage and she's dressed in the brightest yellow and red that you'll ever see in a human. But behind her, there's a yellow ladder, there's a yellow sign. Someone just jumped off something yellow, so they coordinated that entire scene in that corner of the soundstage for all the props to match her incredibly loud yellow and red suit. So that movie gets an A+ because of that. That style moment matches anything in The Gentleman. But is there anything else you guys want to say before we get out of here? Any favorite moments? Anything we didn't cover?
I got a couple questions. I did the questions for Mark, but since we got our friend Marcos with us, this is questions for Mark and Marcos.
Okay.
All right. So rapid fire. Did Hugh Grant have more fun in Paddington 2 or The Gentleman? Because he was lampooning himself in both movies.
I didn't see Paddington 2. Or Paddington.
As an adult, it's very enjoyable.
Okay.
Okay, I'll check it out.
I'm gonna say Paddington 2 because shooting 45 pages of dialogue in 5 days does not sound fun. That sounds exhausting. So I'm gonna say Paddington 2 because he knew
he played a washed-up actor, Marcos.
Yeah. And
who commits the crime?
He owns that role. And also Paddington 2 has many similarities with Ernest Goes to Jail. Just letting everyone know. There's at least 20 of them. Just letting everybody know that. But I'm going to say Paddington 2 because he
Paddington
probably
ripped off Ernest.
No, I have a list. I can read it later. There's 20 reasons.
Screenplay larceny.
Yeah. No, I'm dead serious. But it's he had more time to act, I think, on Paddington 2. So I'm gonna say Paddington 2 because
He looked like he was having fun in The Gentleman, though. It was and it was funny seeing Hugh Grant because I hadn't seen Hugh Grant in years, honestly, since he slept with that hooker. That was the last time I saw him. Not because I was offended by that. I just that wasn't into some of the films he was making. I loved his character in this film. I was surprised because I didn't see Paddington 2. But I was surprised at how great he was in this movie. He played that role brilliantly. He seemed to be having fun with it. Anyway, what's your next question?
This wasn't his first Guy Ritchie movie. He was awesome in the Man from U.N.C.L.E. as well,
which I also haven't seen. I have to watch that.
It's fun.
That's my favorite Guy Ritchie movie personally. Love that movie. All right, better narrator, Hugh Grant or Morgan Freeman?
Oh, wow.
Can I throw Jason Statham from Snatch in there? Because I'll take him.
Yes.
But yeah, okay. If I had to rate him,
That's right. Yeah.
I mean, it's got to be Shawshank.
Morgan Freeman's done so much narration work too. The Penguin documentary. There's been so many.
I feel like
Hugh Grant's like ADD narrator.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like to me. Yeah. Like he's just all over the place. And Morgan Freeman is he's a gentleman. He's articulate. You can, definitely. I would go with Morgan Freeman for sure.
Okay, I agree.
Yeah.
I normally like cheeky answers, but it'd be too provocative to say Hugh Grant over Morgan Freeman.
Yeah.
I know that's the funny part because there's really no question. There's no comparison.
Yeah.
So in Guy Ritchie movies, somebody is always a couple steps ahead of everybody else. You just don't know which person is the one that's going to come out on top sometimes.
Yeah.
So the reveal where they explain how the person is a couple steps ahead. Is there a name for that? Is that aha moment where you find out, okay, who is the person that has it all figured out?
Cool.
I mean, what's the reveal known as in the industry, Mark?
I mean, it's not the twist. I mean, I guess it is a twist because you prove that you have been ahead of them the whole time.
It's true. Or it's if it's a twist, if it's the person that you least expect to come out on top.
Like in Snatch, it was Mickey and the travelers. So then,
right.
They were the ones who were. But then that was kind of a twist because you didn't see that coming.
Man from U.N.C.L.E. There's one. I won't share because Marcos hasn't seen them.
Yeah, I want to watch that now.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't even tell you. I couldn't.
Okay.
I don't even know.
So we'll say like a reveal or a twist, or there's that light bulb moment where someone emerges victorious.
Yeah. That was a good question. I normally have an answer for that, but I don't know what that is.
Got it. Last question. In this movie, it felt like they were just enamored by their creative names for marijuana that we covered early. All right, if you two could come up with the funniest possible names for marijuana, what would it be? And just to kick it off, I think Stinky Sasquatch would be my.
Oh, I was gonna say Skunk Ape.
That's very Florida right there.
Weed.
Yeah. the Florida man.
Yeah, the Florida man.
The Florida man. The Strand. Florida man Strand.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Oh gosh, the Florida. I like that a lot. I'm trying to think of something about Deep Blue Sea. I mean, like Ganja and Hess.
What was the name of the chef, of the cook, LL Cool J's character?
Preacher. So it could be the dope preacher.
You could do something. Preacher dope.
Yeah, Preacher dope.
That's too on the nose.
Yeah, because that's not really a nickname then. Wait, or is it? Let's see. Common. So I'd have to come up with a name.
What was the name of Samuel Jackson's character?
I would just call it Carter Blake. That's Thomas.
Carter Blake Surprise.
That's Thomas
Carter
Jane's.
Blake.
Thomas Jane's character's name from Deep Blue Sea. So I would call it the Carter Blake.
Carter Blake blend.
The Carter Blake blend. Ooh, you gotta have alliteration when you are.
That rolls better. Carter Blake blend. It's hard to say, but it's fun.
Especially if you're 3 joints in. Yeah.
And like, yeah, you got the Dr. Susan McAllister. Like, I got different blends, and they're all just Deep Blue Sea character names. Hey, you got the Scoggins? Oh yeah, I got the Scoggins for you.
The Walter Goggins Strand.
Oh, I would
buy that one.
Yeah, the Walty Goggies. and then they come out with an
Multi-gag.
Just have the justified strand. Oh, that'd be great. Hey, thank you guys so much for joining me. I love this movie. Yeah, this was a lot of fun, and thank you, Marcos, for coming on here and talking with us.
Thanks, guys. It was a lot of fun. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah. And remember, when the silverback has more silver than back, it's time to move on before we get on. So with that,
right.
We'll close out the episode.
All right, guys.
Exactly.
All right, so thank you so much. For me, Mark Hoffmeyer, for Eric Hoffmeyer, for Marcos Ruiz, this is Movies, Films, and Flicks. We'll see you next week.